Hello and welcome once again to M&A Ambassadors, Becoming the USP, the Ultimate Sales Professional. Now, we have in the last couple of videos been talking about qualifying your prospects, whether buyers or sellers. So today I want to answer a question that someone raised when watching one of these videos is it really important that I do a full detailed qualification, or can I just qualify what would be enough for me to understand what they're looking for? The answer is you need to go through the proper qualifying process for two reasons. A good selling structure has been created keeping in mind you need to uncover certain information which is actually going to help you when you present the solution and minimize the objections, because the solution that you present is going to perfectly fit what the client is looking for. So don't shortcut that process. Companies don't spend hundreds of thousands of dollars creating their sales processes just to occupy time on the phone or face-to-face. Every question in there, every sequence and structure is there for a reason. Now, let me put this situation to you. Let's say you have a grinding pain in your knee and you went in to see a doctor and you tell the doctor, I've got this nagging pain in my knee, I'm not sure what it is. So the doctor says, it's in your knee? And you say, yes. And he takes a piece of paper, he scribbles a prescription, he says, that's it. Go and buy this medicine. Apply this for the next 1 week, you should be fine. Would you want to work with such a doctor? What if you went to a doctor and then he said, okay, so you got this pain in your knee. All right. On a scale of 1 to 10, how intense is this pain? It's a 7. Okay. When did you notice this pain happen? Okay. I give answers. Is there anything that you did in your physical routine in the last 1 week or 2 weeks that might have been different from before? Now, do you have confidence talking to such a doctor who's actually trying to find out what could be the real reason the pain started, and only after that he prescribes the solution? The answer is obvious. You would go with the second doctor. Now, when you are with your prospect, it is exactly the same. You could position the rest of your selling process on assumptions or actuals. The problem with assumptions is you are going to be perception based in your selection approach from that point onwards. And you know, when you present something based on assumption or perception, the client can very easily challenge it or question it. You will never be in control because it's the client who's going to be questioning it. The second challenge you will have with assumption-based selling is the fact that the client actually feels you're more interested in closing the deal than you are in them, because you haven't taken enough time to even find out what they're really looking for. The third challenge you will have with this is that you would be presenting what you think is what the client requires, but the reality could be something else. Now keep in mind, the client is there with you. He's not running away from you. Okay. On the phone call, I agree, you should qualify to a minimum amount because you don't have that kind of time. But at the same time, there are certain minimum information you should get. If you're on a Zoom call, you have half hour, 45 minutes, an hour, a client comes and meets with you, it can go upwards of 2 hours. You've got enough time to deep dive into a detailed qualification. So what should we be actually qualifying on? There's 4 main things that we need to look at. The fifth was concerns, which we discussed in a previous video. You need to be looking at the need. What exactly is this person looking for? Is it a home for themselves? Is it for an investment opportunity? Is it going to be a short-term investment where they're looking for a quick appreciation and then to resell? Is it for long-term rental yields? If it is a home for themselves, is there a particular community they have in mind? What kind of lifestyle are they expecting from that kind of community? How many bedrooms? Are they looking for independent villas, townhouses? Should it be a pet-friendly community? Those kind of things. There are a lot of detailed questions that you would need to ask. The second thing that you would also want to talk about, and actually let me go back to the first, the driving reason, the motivation behind why they want that kind of community or that type of investment, you must uncover. So that is very important, because the driving reason is always in the person, never in the product. The second thing, of course, is their capability, which is the financial information about the person. self-funded, mortgage? Are they looking, what kind of down payments are they able to give to secure the unit? What kind of monthly installments or payouts they have ability? Are the funds locally available? Do they need to be transferred in from outside? By when will they actually have access to the funds? So these kind of information, the financial facts, become very important. The third thing that you need to be looking at is the decision time frame. How soon are they looking to make the investment if you could find them exactly what they're looking for? And that's another reason why you will qualify and you'll present on actuals and not on assumptions. But we need to know the timeline, and a lot of salespeople don't actually ask this question. And then they're surprised at the end when the client says, I'll come back to you, I'm just gathering information. The fourth thing, super critical to find out, is this the key decision maker, or will someone else be involved in the process? Because if you don't have that information, you don't even know if you're getting a deal or if you're progressing to the next stage at the end of this phone call, meeting, or Zoom. So you must find out if this is the key decision maker or someone else will be involved. Now, I've always heard this question asked about urgency. How do you create urgency? And I agree, urgency is required to close the deal. Why? People inherently don't trust salespeople. So there must be certain urgency created that helps them to make the decision with more confidence. Now, urgency can be of two kinds. There could be a push sell, where you create the urgency by pushing, or there can be a pull sell, where you create the urgency from their side. So a push urgency is about selling. A pull urgency is about buying. And my next video on qualifying will look at this concept of how to create urgency. Very, very critical, because urgency brings tension, positive tension into the presentation. And without that, the deal will not happen. I want to thank you for your time with us on this episode of M&A Ambassadors, Becoming the USP, the Ultimate Sales Professional.